Shalom, mama. Shalom, everyone.
Shalom, shalom. All praise due to the Most High God, Yahweh, by way of his magnificent son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. Welcome to another Thursday night HOI class. I am thankful to be your host for the night, co-host. I am the lowest servant, Makayaahlah, and we're here to teach on a lot of these Christian lies here, because the Christians they love the murderers. They love it, and they allow them to do the things that they want to do, and they say as long as they are speaking the name of Christ, they will be forgiven. And all of them are going to be in the kingdom of heaven. This is what they're saying here. So, again, First Thessalonians 5:21, we are to prove all things. So we're here to prove that these Christians who are even out here on YouTube and on out here on Clubhouse saying that Israelites lie and twist scripture. But so far, we see the ones who's twisting the scriptures is the Christians, and they continue to follow these lies, and they continue to speak these lies to our people. They continue to do these things, and they have no backup, no historical proof or documentation of what they're saying. All they do is contradict themselves, and they go against the children of the Most High, because we are the ones who understand. We're keeping His laws, we're keeping His statutes and commandments, and Lord willing, every last one of us will be able to see the fruits of our labor and be able to see this kingdom being destroyed. Lord willing, we always survive. Now, what I was doing here, I was sending a couple of pages to the elder from this book here that proves again how foolish our people are. But I wanted to start at Revelation 22, verse 14. I wanted to start there before we start to read this book here. Chosen people from the Caucasus. This is written by Michael Bradley, an Edomite, and he's speaking on how his people got here and who the so-called Jewish people are. That's his picture at the top to show you exactly who he is. That's his picture. So even this Edomite is telling you that those Jews who claim to be Jews are not. They're nothing but a bunch of Caucasian converts. And these Caucasian converts, as you've seen recently, is kicking out people out their wheelchairs. They was putting their hands on a so-called Palestinian woman. I don't know if she's Palestinian or not, but they was putting their hands on her. These are the only people that could do these things and get away with it. And like the elder was bringing out last night, the only reason why the rabbi got locked up for putting his hands on the brother and kicking him out the wheelchair is because there was too many witnesses out there and they had it on video. and he going to court for that next month. So you know he got R&R released on his own recognizance. He got R&R. They didn't hit it as a hate crime, and they would have made us go through it as a hate crime. They didn't give him bail, if they would have given us bail. And they didn't make it publicly, like how they would have made us public every time we get locked up for something wicked. So that should be an anti-black crime, because that was hate against our people. But they don't have that there, right? Anti-Semitic. So they could do whatever they want to do, but they are not the only Shemitic ones here. And they are not, I should repeat, they are not the real Jews. But these Christians love them. They love them, and they continue to send them money, millions and billions a year. Millions and billions of dollars every year. You see the commercial they put on there about some old wrinkly Edomite who's in poverty or living in a broken down house or something like that, can't speak English. She's speaking Yiddish, as they call Hebrew, modern day Hebrew. She's speaking Yiddish, and they trying to get you to send money over there. And these Christians love to do it so. They love to do it so. But let's get if my reader's there, let's get Revelation 22, verse 14 real quick. I don't know if this is on the chat house.
There's the book of Revelation, chapter 22, verse 14. Can you hear me properly? Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter through the gates into the city.
Right. So blessed are they that do his commandments. A lot of our people, the churches tell you the commandments are dead, right? That's because they want to continue to sin constantly. They tell you that the commandments are dead, but the very last page of the scriptures tells you, blessed are they that do his commandments. Blessed are they that do his commandments. So now here's a question, and I wish I was able to get on Clubhouse. But here's a question to the churches and the Christians. How come every time when somebody goes into a Christian church, you tell them to repent for them sins, to repent from their sins? So if they have to repent from their sins, then that means the laws are not dead. Because we all know the only way you can't sin is by what? Breaking the laws. Breaking the laws of God. So if the laws are done away with, as Esau was teaching them and had them bring this forth throughout all of their congregation, and where you had to go to a Catholic school or a so-called university to learn about Christ the way how they want you to bring it out, in order for you to get a church, learn the way how they want you to speak Christianity, speak their doctrine, and teach lies to millions of people and tell them that the laws are dead. Or when Christ went to the cross, he said it was finished. Where did he say that the laws was finished? He just said it is done. He never said the laws was finished. But yet you got what's the name up here? You have on Clubhouse, some people up there got Israelites lie and twist and manipulate scriptures. How do we lie, manipulate, and twist scriptures when you tell everybody every Sunday Christ said that the laws of God was dead? But yet we just read in Revelation 22 verse 14 that blessed are they that keep his commandments, that they may have the right in order to enter through the gates unto the tree of life. So these Christians out here are preaching the doctrine of men, and they are preaching the doctrine of Esau constantly because they love their slave master. They love these wicked murderers. You learn that in the black, what is it called? The Negro Bible that they give you. That's about 58 scriptures. They give you that. And all the scriptures in it they giving you is for you to love them for whipping your behind, cutting off your fingers, murdering your kids, raping your women. You're supposed to love them when they're doing that. This is what the Christians is telling you. And some Israelites to this day. They tell you the same thing. Do not abhor an Edomite. Look at that. What? Are you serious? What about Obadiah 1, verse 8 through 10? What did he say about that? Oh, that's future prophecy. That don't seem like it's future prophecy to me. Even though we know part of it is future prophecy because he says in that day, he's going to destroy all of Edom. But he said, you are cut off. You even got our own people out there now becoming Christians and try to tell you that you're wrong because they don't like the doctrine of One West. They don't like what One West doing. One West has been waking up a lot of our people. The leaders of One West, a lot of them have been waking up a lot of our people. So let's get down to the first page. Are you able to pull up the first page of the Shemayo that I sent you on the WhatsApp?
That's today a large number of Black Americans starting there on that. Is that the page?
Sure. Correct. Con.
Okay. So just read what is highlighted or the whole thing?
Con, just read what's highlighted.
Okay, Con. This is from, what's the name of the book?
The name of the book is Chosen People from the Caucasus.
And this is what, page 3? The forward? This is a forward, right?
Con.
Okay, so this is a forward. It says, today a large number of Black Americans think of the Jews as people of the book, and they look more favorable on them than on other Caucasians. These poorly informed Blacks do not know that the Jews of Europe played the same role in their enslavement, oppression, and colonization as the other Europeans.
Look at that. And this is a Caucasian telling you who these Jewish people are. He's telling you, you poorly informed Blacks, poorly informed Blacks. You have no clue who these Jewish people are, but yet you continue to send them your hard-earned earnings every day from the commercials for the so-called Holocaust of what Adolf Hitler has been doing to them. You continue to send them that money. Who else continues to send them? Germany continues to send them this money. England continue to send these people this money. But you can't get a damn dime of reparations. You can't get nothing. You can't get nothing. Like the old saying goes, we can't ever have nothing to ourselves. No, we can't. We can't have nothing to ourselves. We had, back in the days, they gave us so-called welfare, right? And then you got all the Edomites saying that we're lazy. We don't work. We don't do this. Well, who's out there in the workforce? When I'm driving these tractors, who I see more out there driving these tractors? I see Eve, the black woman, and I see a lot of my people. I see a lot of my people. Who's out here in these schools who are teaching? A lot of our people. Who's out here doing these door dashes and all these delivery services? Our people. But you got to know to say our people are lazy. And these Christians love these people. They love these murderers. They love these rapists, these liars, these deceivers. They love them. When you bring out books like this and read to them and show them exactly who those people are, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear. They'll find some way to give you a sermon about what white Jesus told them. White Jesus talks to them. They found a way to give you a sermon about such a thing because that's their way of deflecting it. That's their way of deflecting the truth and try to get you off your square and try to get you to come and join them, making you think that they are holy people, that they are holy by following something that nobody else has heard before, something neither you nor your ancestors have known before. But a lot of our people are waking up out of that. All pretty due to the Most High. Can we get the read the next page, Elder, that I sent you?
The next page or the lower half that's highlighted?
The lower half that's highlighted.
Okay. Con. Con. As financiers and insurers, the Europeans' maritime commerce and commerce largely focused on the slave trade for 3 centuries. Jewish mercantile houses embased vast fortunes in both Europe and North America. In Europe and North America, fortunes that were often interrelated by family and marital ties. In Europe, conveyancers operating out of Madrid and Seville, is that Seville? Shalaki. Seville handled the business of Spanish slaving. Jews openly operating in Amsterdam served the financial needs of Protestant slavers. In America, the flourishing Jewish financial community centered mainly in North Newport, Rhode Island, financed and insured slaving voyages by Yankee captains.
Look at that. You see that? And these same people tell you they had nothing to do with the slave trade, but this book is telling you. This book right here is telling you what these people have done to our ancestors. They were part of the slave trade. They helped forward the oppression. Because why? They are not Jews. They are not Jews. These Zionist liars, who our people are poorly misinformed and love to send them money and feed them. Love to do such things for these wicked people. Our people love these murderers. And when this truth come out about what they have been doing to our people, they continue to ignore it. So now that we know that a lot of them are lying just about who they are and what they had their hands in when it comes to our slave trade, when they put us on the trading blocks. Now that you know again that these Jewish people are nothing but a bunch of convert Caucasian liars, devils, murderers, rapists. Picture what they're saying now when they went out there and they started bombing Yemen and Hamas and all those other Muslim countries. Think about what they're saying now. Oh, Hamas started with me. You're a liar. You're a liar. You trying to keep all these white Christians slacking because, again, I got to remember, they're not white. These pale Caucasian Christians to believe in the lies that you're pushing. And not just you believing in it. Now, me slacking, and not just the Caucasian to believe in it, trying to get our ancestors to believe in it. These churches. Now, they already know that the image on top of the church is a lie. But yet they still go in and gather it and still have that same faith, that same face, that same picture in their churches. Still to this day, and it's puzzling because you hear the truth and you hear the facts about it, but you continue to do the same thing every Sunday. Every Sunday. But they say we're lying and we're manipulating the scriptures. We're the liars, and they're the ones who's telling the truth. But yet, this book right here is again, it's just showing you how much these people lie and how much they have set up there. And oh man, how much they got our people to believe in this wickedness. And it makes you think and wonder, like, yo, I mean, really? You don't want to learn about the truth? You still believe in the lies that these people is teaching, these people that murdered your ancestors? These people that raped and robbed your ancestors, stolen their land, sent you to concentration camps, cut off your hands, your feet because you didn't gather enough of this or that for them. These people, and you trying to tell my people to love them because you love these murderers. You allow them to manipulate you and twist scripture. But yet you say the Israelites is doing it. Is there any more on that page, Elder?
Oh yeah, there's a small part at the end.
Go.
Shalaki. Yeah, Shalaki. He also highlights the disproportionate role that Jews have played in relation to the spread of what is called Western civilization. After having been pushed into trades and professions other people did not want or considered to be beneath their social status, many Jews became experts in.
Yeah, so like I have the rest right here. And these professions that eventually became indispensable to the state. The paradox here is that many people who had originally forced them into these professions later condemned them for using these professions. So they was forced into joining into being, as he would say here, they was forced into being banks, and things like that, which I really doubt anybody could be forced into being a bank or financial institute or a slave trader or a slave master. I doubt that again. But at least this Caucasian here is exposing them and telling you who runs the banking system. As we know, they are nothing but the Illuminati. And who is the Illuminati? Who are they? A whole bunch of converts. It's like it, Elder. I'm gonna read the bottom of this part here. I have highlighted. The people we now confront and recognize as Jews are of European origin. At once, this tells us something about the will of Europeans to dominate and interpret the cultures and concepts that govern the world. When we speak of those Europeans who refer to themselves as Jews, we are dealing with a super sensitive area. Of course, it's a super sensitive area. And this is what he's telling you right here. Of course, it's a super sensitive area. Right there at the bottom. He's telling you that because you're exposing these people that they are not the Jews. They are Caucasians, Europeans. These are not the Jews. Now, you gotta have me get these books because again, they're gonna put some prices on these books to stop you from even buying these things after a while. So remember when he just wrote here, he said, we speak of those Europeans who refer to themselves as Jews, right? European who refer to themselves as Jews and have become a sensitive area or topic. Yeah, become a sensitive area topic because you're exposing them. And this is where you got all these other fictions or factions that they put out there to go against so-called hate crime against them. Because why? You expose who they are. They are not the true children of God. They are not. But yet our people continue to love these people once again. How many times do I have to say how many times our people love these people? These so-called churches, these Christians, they call them Jews. They're not Jews. And when you tell the Christians that in the churches, they don't care. They don't care. They're giving you a whole sermon, a whole goddamn sermon about why they don't care if they are Jews or not. So then you ask them, who are the real Israelites? Who are the real Israelites? If these people claiming to be us, then who are the real Israelites? And you find out they're nothing but Caucasians, who are the real Israelites? They can't tell you that. Can we go to the next page, Eldo, that I sent you?
Uh,
And,
did you finish out? Did you stop at super sensitive, or did you finish out that portion?
I finished that out.
Okay, Con. Um,
And
okay.
Salakia,
Mm-hmm.
as y'all can see, this is just page 5 from the beginning. Introduction. I didn't even go into the whole book yet. This is just the first couple of pages. The first
Con.
couple of pages. And already you're receiving that kind of information about these people. All right, Kyle, I'm ready.
Con. The word Jew is a European creation, yet there are people of the Hebrew faith all over the world, of many different colors and many different cultures. Dr. Y.A.A. Ben Jacatan, Nuns, welcome back home, as well as his We the Black Jews, witness to the white Jewish race. Myth brings myth bring to light the universality of people adhering to the Hebrew faith long before the belated conversion of those Europeans who now dominate the faith and assume that they must give it its world definition and direction.
Slakia. You see that? You see that? So he's telling you, you know, the black Jews, we the black Jews, welcome back home, as well as his we the black Jews witness a witness to these white lying Jewish race. This is why he said it's a myth. Bring to light the universality because they're liars. These people are nothing but liars. And he's telling you it's a myth. And they already know that there are black Jews out there. They already know that the Jews is black. That's from this book here. They already knew that there was black Jews out there. Even before we got on the streets and started teaching. Way before we got on the streets and started teaching. I'm trying to find a year this was written. Maybe I'll find it later. Uh-oh. Salakia, Elder. Gabar. Shalom, Gabar Ash.
Shalom, King.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, yeah.
God. I see y'all got you to be the reader for the night.
Con, you need me out?
Come, do we need him, Elder?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're available, King.
I got you. Yeah, no problem.
All praises.
Oh, we got the mighty king online.
I'll bring up those pages on the screen so you can see it that you sent to me.
Come. Come, I won't be able to send them. I don't have them on this phone. I have it on my tablet.
Yeah, just send it to me if you can.
All right. I thought I did. Right, the last 2 pages that I sent you.
I have from this is chapter 5 deals with the Khazar conversion. Is that what you want me to put up?
Come on, Elder.
Gotcha.
All right, when you can, mighty king, you can start reading from there. Can you see it?
Con, do you want to highlight it?
Come.
Con, all praises. Okay. All right. Chapter 5 deals with the Khazar conversion of the European Jews, a neglected chapter in their history. Here, Bradley reveals that the formation of the people referred to as Jews in Europe, was not the same as the origin and development of a people in Western Asia who bore the same name. This is a clear indication that a variety of people of different cultures, origins, and colors became followers of the Hebrew faith and are historically known as Jews, but do not share the same history as the Jews depicted in the Old Testament.
Salakia. You see this? And this is a Caucasian telling you that these people do not share nothing of the origin of the original biblical Jews. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing at all. He's showing you that they have converted. He's showing you that they're of European descent. And they became known as Jews. But they have nothing to do with the Jews of the Old Testament. Nothing at all. Let's continue, Mighty King.
The history of the Jewish people is shrouded in myth and mystery. They have played a role in the rise and fall of many nations and have had an influence on nations and cultures far beyond their numbers. Both
Salakia.
literate.
Yeah, Salakia. Man, just that verse right there was serious because what he's telling you, right, they have a role in the downfall of other nations. Like right now, what are they doing? What are they doing? They have a role in the downfall of any Muslim state. They have their hands in it. Anything. They have their hands in the downfall of our people. We just read that they was the ones that was making sure that we were being sold as slaves in the transatlantic slave trade. They made sure of it. And they held forward the affliction. But you ask a Jew about that, a Jewish man about that, they'll tell you to this day, nah, we had nothing to do with that. You're a liar. Nothing but lies. They speak nothing but lies because they're the devil that the Bible speaks of. They're like their father, the Caucasian, their grandfather. They're nothing but a bunch of liars. And this is what they do constantly all the time. They put their hands in the downfall of everything out there. Anybody that exposing who they are, they want you to downfall. And not just because you're exposing them, because they want what you have. They want what you have. So as the parasites that they are, because that's all they are, a bunch of parasites, living off of somebody else's land, living off of somebody else's name, living off of somebody else's fame, and trying to live off of somebody else's God. Trying to do that to this day.
I got a precept, Rob. Got a precept.
Come on, bring it out. Bring it out.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 36 and verse 5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession with the joy of all their heart and despiteful minds, with despiteful minds, to cast it out for a prey.
God, they brought in our land into their heart. They said, we're going to have this land. We're going to take the land of Israel. 1948, they was put in that land. They was put in that land because they were a bunch of parasites. And all this came to fruition. Now, let me see any Father, Son, and any Muslim try to talk about that right there. Where's the Father, Son, and the Muslims? Where are these Christians that saying that this is a lie? This was prophecy, prophesied, and it came to fruition. They was in Germany. They was in Europe. They came from Europe. But no, they said they wanted our land. They wanted our land. Because if they get to be in our land and they get our land, the whole world would think that they are Jews. They would think that they are from Israel. And look what's happening now. You poorly informed blacks are sending your hard-earned money to these European people. These converts, these liars, these murderers of your people. Let's continue, King.
Gone. Both literally and figuratively, the Jews are a people under siege and on the offensive. In many cases, their survival has depended on their knowledge of the prevailing power apparatus of the countries where they were either permanent or temporary residents.
Salaki, you see that? Salaki, Brother King. You see that? He just told you, right? I didn't even read that part. He just told you that wherever they was at, they took their knowledge with them. Wherever they was at, these parasites, wherever land they was on, wherever countries or cities they was at, they stolen it from them and brought it with them. Stolen it from them. So where do they get those damn fur hats from? Or those stupid looking curly locks on the side? Where do they get them from? That's nowhere in the scripture says that's a culture. Nowhere. Them fur hats, you get that from Russia. Let's continue, King. Oh man.
God. Their role in the Atlantic slave trade is unique because at the time they were playing this role, they were also fighting against. I don't have the rest of that. Okay, there you go. They were also fighting against the possibility of being enslaved themselves. Likewise, they have learned to profit from both contemporary.
Yeah, Salakia. We can hold that right there because I didn't send the other side of that. So I'm going to read that part out. They profit from both war and peace, dependent on the circumstances. Chapter 6, delusions, deceptions, and distortions is the most valuable for the modern reader because it is a detailed account of the participation of the Jews in the Mediterranean world and their activities that made the European Renaissance possible. This Renaissance introduced Europe to the maritime skills and a revolution in navigation and boat building that eventually led to the slave trade that was a 3-continent industry. Look at that. And then it says at the end, it is clear after reading this book that Michael Bradley will not be a candidate for a teaching position in any American or Canadian university because they don't want to hear that he exposes them for who they really are. And that was down here at the bottom. They don't want him to expose them for who they are. So they did not want him to be a teacher in their schools. All right, we could read this, King. I think it might be on mute.
What you are, the chosen people from the Caucasus?
Come on, let's continue from right there.
It's just picking up with, like, it's just in the middle of something already.
Right,
it starts at contemporary crisis, like racism itself, have their origins in the prehistory of the white race alone. We attribute various threats to our survival to man's folly. But this is a conscious and self-protecting euphemism. Nuclear war, environmental pollution, resource rape, all are primary threats to our survival, and all are the result of peculiar Caucasoid behavior, Caucasoid values, and Caucasoid psychology.
Salakia, look at that. Salakia King, you see this? So he's telling you about nuclear war, and he's telling you about the rape and the resources that they steal constantly are started by who? The Caucasians. And this is why they don't want him to preach in their schools or to teach in their schools. Let's continue, King.
There is no way to avoid the truth. The problem with the world is white men.
Yeah, we need a ball for that.
All praises.
God, we need a ball for that. Boo!
Right. If this insight has generally escaped us, it is only because we have dictated much history, written most of it, and have judged it in terms of our own self-image. But we have never looked at ourselves in an objective biological mirror. And that is what we will now proceed to do.
Look at that. So before we start, let's get first Maccabees 3 verse 48. Because again, he's telling you right there what they have done, right? He's telling you. These people have taken the history and written it and put them of their own self-image into it. He's telling you what they've done to our Bibles. He's telling you what they've done to our history. This is what you see on TV. This is what you see about the Ten Commandments. This is what you see about the Christ. It's all been whitewashed. This is what you see about the pharaohs of Egypt. It's all whitewashed. But then when it comes to us looking at, then when it comes to showing somebody of bad, of wickedness, like how they did in the movie 300, Xerxes, they made sure he was a man of color. They made sure he was a man of color. And he was using all kind of sorceries and witchcraft. While you got him, Leonidas, and all his pale-faced European buddies out there, stringy dog face here, they're fighting for the good of man. They're fighting for the good of the country. What a bunch of he's telling you right here. He's telling you what they've been doing. Written most of it and have judged it in our turn and our self-image. Our self-image. Honey King, when you got that, bring that out, please. First Maccabees 3, verse 48.
First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
And that's what he's done here. He's telling you exactly what they've done here. Let's get 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 3. They have painted the likenesses of their images in our books. In the movies and all through history, they have painted over everything to make it seem like they were the greatest people on this earth. They were the ones who was doing this. They are the children of God. They are nothing but a bunch of swaggers that like stealing things and oh man, try to copycat. And then they want to call everybody else a bunch of culture vultures, but these are the ones who are the culture vultures. These are the thieves. Swagger jackers. These are the thieves of everything on this earth. And that's what the Most High says. he has to get rid of them. He has to get rid of them. But when you read this kind of doctrine to these other people, our people, these Christians, when you read this to them, they reject it. And they reject it because, again, they love wickedness. They love their slave master. So to me, it's no more of Stockholm syndrome because we know that affects our people a lot. But as you've been seeing recently on Facebook and YouTube and all these other things, what's been happening to these Edomites when they run their mouth to the wrong brother out there on the streets, what's been happening to you. So it's no more of a Stockholm syndrome. Now it's more of our people just being ignorant. Ignorant. And they love these murderers. Let's bring that out, mighty king. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3.
It's the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse number 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
And he's been revealed. He's been revealed. And a lot of these Christians, they don't want to admit that he is the man of perdition. They don't want to admit he is the end of the world. They don't want to admit that. Because these people love these murderers. Let's get a classic, Job 9 and 24. They love these murderers. And we know it and we see it every day when they continue to go out there and push and preach their doctrine. Push and preach their doctrine. We was at camp last night, and then you see, again, the only one who could have complained unto the law was Esau. And he said, the street preachers are back. The weather is breaking. The street preachers are back. Complained to them that our elder was on the microphone speaking because the word of God was cutting a hole in them. It was cutting a hole in them. A brother just walked past me because, again, like I said, I go out there with a crown on, I'm a Noah's on. A brother just walked past me and said, we need that word out there. We miss y'all being out there. And I told him we're out there every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. But sometimes the weather, it stops us from going out there. So believe it or not, they need to hear HOI out there pushing the word. They need to hear us out there bringing out the truth. They need to see somebody standing up for the righteousness of the Most High God. They need to see that because the people are not believing what these churches are saying, and they are not believing in what the enemy is saying at all either. So it's very important for us to continue to go out there and push the word to the people who are willing to learn and who are willing to listen and who want to fight for the Most High God. Come on, bring it out, mighty king.
It's the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Right. Because they just sat out there, and this is not just for, how he's hitting us. No, he's covered up our faces, and he's calling himself the judge. He's the judge. After he just jacked you for your for our names and our nationality. So that's how he's covering up the faces of the true judges. He jacked us for it. Like we was on Grand Theft Auto or something. He jacked us for our nationality real quick. Let's get Daniel 11 verse 39.
I got a precept on that.
Oh, bring it out, King.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
Look at that. Because he has taken peace, and this is who he's talking about. He has taken peace from off the land. And see what Christians are trying to show you, and not just Christians, well, also Esau's trying to show you he's going to paint a white horse, a pale white horse, right? And he's going to show you a pale man sitting on top of the horse, which is true, which is him, with wings on. With wings on. He's going to show you their version of an angel with wings on, probably with a skeleton face, to take peace from the earth and give them confusion and start war. So who's the one who's doing that? If we just read it in this book here, it says it right there: nuclear war, environmental pollution. They start the nuclear war. They do these things. This book is exposing them. It's going right in line with the scriptures when the brother just brought out. This is exposing and showing that these people is the pale horse. They are the pale horse. But the Christians love them, though. They're going to be saved right along with us, like the Christians say, huh? But yet, we're the ones, they say the Israelites, we're the ones who twisting up scripture. Unbelievable. Let's get Daniel 11, verse 39, mighty king. Unbelievable. I mean, like Jay-Z said in his video, what more can I say? What more can we say to show you that these people are not the children of God and that these people are the devil that the Bible speaks of? What more can we show you? What more can we say? Crazy. When you ready, mighty king, bring that out.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 39. Thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory. And he shall cause them to rule over many, and shall divide the land for gain.
Right. With a strange God. Who is that strange God? A God that nobody wants to accept. That's funny. You see that? So this is a God nobody wants to accept. Not the Muslim countries, right? Not the Hamite countries. They don't want to accept this strange God. So now you have to force it on people. You have to force it on them. Can no Christian show me in the scriptures that we forced or that the biblical Israelite forced being a Jew or any one of them? Can nobody show us that? Nobody. We didn't have to force this on anybody. None of them. But Jeff, you got the Christian Crusades out there. How they went out there and murdered everybody. Come on, let's bring that out real quick. Proverbs 29, verse 2.
This is the book of Proverbs. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse number 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Right. There's great pain and terror, hatred, war, famine, destruction. This all takes place when the wicked is in rule. This takes place when the wicked is in rule. Same way as he tells us in 2nd Ezra 6, verse 9, that Esau is the end of the world. So now you got a lot of, You got a lot of hard-headed Israelites still talking about the Caucasian man is not Esau. But what it just says here? It tells you right here when the wicked is in rule, the righteous people mourn, the earth mourneth. It mourns. And then it tells you in second Ezra 6, verse 9, that Esau is the end of the world. These people are the end of the world. And then it tells you here, there is no way to avoid the truth. The problem with the world is white men.
God.
But yeah, we got Israelites talking about that's not Esau. Let's get Obadiah chapter 2, 1 verse 2. I mean, sometimes, brothers and sisters, it seems like we're fighting an uphill battle when it comes to our people. And we know that it's hard to wake them up. Like he said in Ezekiel, they won't hear us because they won't hear him. They won't hear us because they won't hear him. But he left a remnant for him. He left a remnant that belongs to him. And we are part of that remnant because we want what's right for him. And we want his law, his words, and everything that glorifies our God, the God of Israel. We want everything for him to come to fruition. Everything. We want to fight for his rights. We want to fight for his will. We want to fight for him, period. These churches ain't doing that. They're not doing that. They would sit down and let you smack both cheeks, punch them in the mouth, stomp them out. They're going to let them do all these things for them. But we all know the Most High said he's a man of war. Exodus 13, verse 5. We all know this. And the reason why the people act like that again is because of the doctrination of Esau. He's telling our people to be soft, to be humble, and to be weak when it comes to them. This is why they changed history and made everybody look like them. Like they this mighty whitey race.
God and King.
It's
Salakia.
calm.
Yeah, like we brung out in Revelation 6 and 4, that great sword, that's part of that. That he was
Calm.
given to take peace from the earth. That's his wicked philosophies and his doctrine.
Exactly. Exactly. And it causes confusion because God said he's not the author of confusion. But yet you hit the scriptures, the churches with these scriptures, they get confused. They get confused. Like how we about to bring out this one here, Obadiah chapter 2, verse 1. Obadiah chapter 1, verse 2.
It's the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
Look at that. Look at that. And right now, what's shrinking about them? Besides the number 2 pencil, what's shrinking about them? They're not having any kids like how they used to. They're not having they're not having any kids like how they used to. So their numbers are shrinking. Amongst the heathen, they are the smallest bunch out here, the smallest group out here. And that wasn't just back then, that's happening right now. That's happening right now. Let's get another one. Let's get Habakkuk 2, verse 4. That's happening right now to them. Because you got the Hamites are growing large in number. Then you got the Hindus. They're growing large in number. Then you got all the Muslim states out there, the Muslim countries out there. They're growing large in number. Who's the smallest ones out here now? When you got that, king, bring that out.
And it's the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Come, we're here by our faith, because we know his soul is not right. He is the most profane man ever to walk this earth. His soul is not right. Let's go back to 1 verse 6 through 8. Habakkuk, chapter 1, 6 through 8.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse 6. For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs.
Right,
They,
Salakia. Salakia, mighty king. And this is what the Most High God has done. He raised them up. And who are followed in the ways of the Chaldeans? Because it's not just them at that time. Who was it that now is doing that? The Most High raised these people up to do these things. You read that in Romans, chapter 9, going all the way down. You read that down there that he raised up a people to do these things. He raised one people to honor and one people to dishonor. He did that for a reason, to show his power. And just like them, he's going to knock them down. Let's continue, King.
Verse 7. They are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves.
Salakia. They're terrible and dreadful. What did he mean by that? These people like to cause wars. They cause wars and they'll do anything to you to destroy you. What did he mean by that? What do I mean by that? They taking out your babies from your stomachs. Look what they did to the Trail of Tears. When they sent our Native American brothers to walk down that trail all the way down to Oklahoma, the young, the old, the weak, the feeble, the sick. How many of our brothers died just walking along that trail? How many? And they had no remorse. None. We already knew what they did to our people. Well, not our people, but our tribe. Because as much as the so-called aboriginal man don't want to admit it, that you are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. You are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. You just ain't pop up out the damn dust over here in America. So stop it. Stop it. You sounding more foolish than Esau right now. But let us continue, King.
Verse 8. Their horses also are swifter than the leopards, and are more fierce than the evening wolves. And their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hasteth to eat.
And look what we're seeing today on Facebook. You've seen two bald eagles. Two bald eagles on the side of the road, dead. Dead. That was something for us to think about. Because you know America used the bald eagle as his symbol. Uses the eagle as his symbol of might and righteousness, a mighty bird of flight. This is what they use. Come.
The estimated about 8,000 to 10,000, which died between the several tribes for the Trail of Tears.
Oh man, God damn.
Yeah, 8,000 to 10,000. I believe that number was actually higher.
I believe so too. And that's just walking. That's just walking, brothers and sisters. Walking. Our people walked, and
And
thousands of
Shalaki
them
King,
died.
and there were several different Native American nations. You know, a lot of times people just kind of focus in on the Cherokee Nation, but the Choctaw, the Muskegee, the Seminole, the Chickasaw, all of those nations were part of that. So that number is between all of the nations, 8 to 10,000.
And like you said, it had to be much higher than that. That's just what they were showing us, or what they wanted us to know. And it had to
Con,
be more than that.
con.
Let's get, man. Let's go down to Job chapter 12, verse 4.
And it's the book of Job, chapter 12, verse 4. I am as one mocked of his neighbor, who calleth upon Yahweh, and he answereth him. The just upright man is laughed to scorn.
Come on. They're laughing at us. When we go out and we preach these words, these Christians are laughing at us. They're laughing at us because they're saying that we're a bunch of liars. And you can't say it don't make you angry because it makes me angry. Like, how you don't see this truth? How you don't see this? How you don't see what's happening? How you don't know that Esau's the damn devil that the Bible speaks of? How you don't see that these people are the ones who put you in this condition, and these people are the ones who are lying to you, and it's taking out these books from you in order for you to learn exactly who you are? How how you don't see that? How you coming over here to us, telling us to shut up when we out there preaching? How you come up to us and tell us that we're lying? We're manipulating scriptures. But it just tells you right here again that the upright man is laughed to scorn, laughed to anger, because you think everything is a goddamn on joke. You think everything is going to be honky dory in a few. When we telling you pain destruction is heading your way, you don't want to. You don't want us to hear it. You don't want us to say it. You rather your slave master that you love, your murderer. You rather him say it to you. You believe it then, right? Let's continue, King.
Verse 5. He that is ready to slip with his feet is as a lamp despised in the thought of him that is at ease.
Go on, continue.
The tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke Yahweh are secure, into whose hand Yahweh bringeth abundantly.
Right. These tabernacles of robbers. And who is that? That's the churches. That's your churches. That's our people who constantly lock the doors and tell you you can't leave until we raise $40,000. That's your preachers out there, your pastors and your ministers, who teach you nothing but about the lies and indoctrinations of your slave master. That's exactly who they are. The tabernacles of robbers. Let's continue, King.
Done. But ask now the beast, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee, or speak to the
Continue.
earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee. Who knoweth
Right.
not in all? Huh? Good.
Yeah, Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, calm. So even the animals will tell you who their creator are. See, that goes into again what the Most High said in Isaiah 1 verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner. The ox knoweth his owner, but Israel don't know. But when we try to tell you and teach you these things, like you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. You don't care who your owner is. You don't care who created you. You think white Jesus created you. You think your slave master is your God because you love the wicked things that he's doing, and you want to do the same wicked things that he's doing to prosper in his wicked time of the earth,
Right.
in his wicked kingdom. Because that's exactly what you're doing. You're not prospering in God's kingdom. You're prospering right now in the wicked man's kingdom. You prosper in Esau's kingdom. And we see that all the time. We see how these pastors and these preachers are looking, walking around here, driving in new fancy cars and things like that. All of his people, all of his followers are living abundantly and richly during these times. All of them. All of them. I see them all the time coming up here to this big church on the corner down here, Easter Sunday that they had up there. You should see how many Land Rovers and goddamn going Escalades was pulling up, Infinity trucks. All these things was pulling up. Why? Why was they pulling up? Because again, they're prospering in the wickedness of this kingdom. They're prospering in the wickedness of the white man. Shalakia, of the Caucasian man.
Done. Take it out.
Come on, we was at that was verse 8.
That was verse 8. Yep.
All right, come on. Let's get um Psalms chapter 50, verse 18.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 50, verse 18. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers.
Come on. Partakers with adulterers. Because again, you want to be a part of these people. You want to do everything they're doing. See, the Most High is exposing all the wickedness of our people who want to be down with these wicked other nations. He exposing them. Now, out there, Christians say that we manipulated that scripture right there too. I dare one of them say that. How did we manipulate that? Let's bring out Ezekiel 16, verse 6. Trying to find this video. I think they might have taken it down. When you got that, King, Ezekiel 16, verse
Con.
6.
All right, Con. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 6. And when I passed by thee and saw thee polluted in thine own blood.
If you use castor oil, you'll grow your hair longer. If you use argan oil, you'll
So like say it again.
Con. It's Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 6. And when I passed by thee and saw thee polluted in thine own blood, I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live. Yea, I said unto thee, when thou wast in thy blood, live.
Because they seen our people was polluted with this wickedness. The same day we keep trying to tell our people and show them that you are the children of God. Stop doing these wicked things. You right now, the churches are polluted with wickedness, and their hands is full of blood. Now, how are their hands full of blood? That's to say, birds of a feather flock together, right? Same thing as the police would tell you, if you was there with your buddy when he committed that robbery, you were a part of that crime. Same thing the Most High is saying right here. You are part of the people that's committing that crime. Because you want to be down with them, you love them, and you want to do what they're doing. And you're pushing their wicked doctrine. With you pushing that doctrine, you're bringing out the gate that's wide to destruction. You're pushing a lot of souls through that. They are pushing a lot of souls through the gate that is wide of destruction. That's exactly what they're doing. Hold on, Elder Shemaiah. I just sent you a video real quick from YouTube. Want to see if you could play it real fast.
Okay. I got you.
And then Mighty King, Big Brother Ash, we could drop down to 15 verse 21. GU 16, we drop down to 15.
Ezekiel 16.
Verse 15.
You want me to play the video first?
Yes.
Of knowledge and connect with the heartbeat of the African diaspora. Download our African Diaspora News Channel app now on Google Play and Apple App Store. Stay informed with authentic and diverse perspectives, breaking news, and cultural insights. Immerse yourself in a community that celebrates unity, resilience, and progress. Experience the vibrancy of the diaspora at your fingertips. Don't miss out. Empower your perspective today. Search African Diaspora News Channel and join the conversation.
We have Pastor John Kilpatrick, who is preaching a sermon to his congregation members, which is predominantly a sea of them folks because the church is in the Deep South, Mobile, Alabama. He is giving them a lesson on how Black people should be treated and why. Take a look at this.
I think back on the African-American people in America. I think how that they were taken against their wills, put in the belly of ships, brought over here, beat, cussed. Many of them died in the guts of those ships, thrown overboard. They were pulled from families over there. If you're one of those people that you got problem with Black people or whatever, you better shut your mouth. Because they're God's people. You better hear what I'm saying to you. You better shut your white mouth. I know some of you was raised in the Deep South and you was raised by prejudiced people and bigoted people. You better get that out of your system. You better get it out of your system. It'll cause you to suffer. Right along with those masters. These are God's people. God knows what happened to the Black race. He knows how they wound up over here, and God is going to reimburse the Black people for all their trouble and all their labor.
This pastor said, you better shut your right mouth, and these are God's people. And that is so right. Now, let's look at this congregation. It is predominantly a sea of them folks. And they look like they have this fake news smile and fake news clapping when they're probably really saying in their mind, not our pastor who looks like us from the Deep South telling us that we shouldn't be racists. No, I'm not suggesting all of the people in there are racist.
Salakia.
The Deep South is
That's
known.
it. Well, that was it. So I just wanted to show y'all that they know who you are. But again, if he's telling them that in his congregation, why aren't he telling that to the people out here at these churches to tell that to our people in their congregation? Why haven't that been broadcasted all over the world? Why aren't they saying that? Because remember, the devil knows he has a short time. And like the sister was saying, you didn't see their faces on their on Esau's face. You didn't see the look on their faces when they heard that. When they heard that. So again, these churches out here who love this wicked white man, who love the wicked white race, who loves Esau and love to do their wicked things, who love to preach their wicked doctrine, and it's not going to tell you that you are the children of God. They're not going to tell you that. Because you see the look on their faces, it's going to be the same look on their faces out here when you see these other Edomites out here find out that you're the children of God. The same look. And they don't want that. They want Master to be happy. These churches are nothing but a whole bunch of Uncle Ruckuses from the Boondocks. That's all they are.
Salakia.
Come on.
See how the sister said, I'm not saying that they all racist. She said that. But see, that's how people still don't get it. They all racist. The whole damn church in there, all white people are racist. They still think it's some good ones.
Exactly.
You know? Nah, it's no good ones. They all racist.
Let's hold on to the Ezekiel. Let's get Psalms 55, verse 21. We're gonna read 21 and 22. Because even the scriptures tells you that. They tells you that. But she was just happy to hear him say that our people are the children of God. But they're not telling that to these churches out here. They're not telling them to say that. Not at all.
Hey, Shalaki King. And him saying they are the children of God, that is not saying that they are the covenant people of the Bible, right? That's pretty much them saying, yeah, they're Christians just like us, right? That's literally what he's pretty much saying. You know, they're God's children too, just like we're God's children. So it's pretty much kind of saying we're all inclusive, we're all together. They're not, what he's not saying is what they will never say, is that we are covenant people. We are the true people of the book. So even this woman hearing that, and, you know, that's what she is thinking. Oh, yeah, you see, they're saying we're Christians just like them. You know, that's literally what they're saying.
You got to bring it full circle.
Yeah.
It's like it came. Instead of Psalm 55 and 21, you're going to get Prologue Wisdom of Solomon, 12 verse 11. That's the one I really wanted. But that goes to exactly to what you and Elder Shemaiah was speaking about. It goes exactly to what they were speaking about.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 11. For it was a cursed seed from the beginning. Neither didst thou for fear of any man give them pardon for those things wherein they sinned.
But the other one, not the Prologue, but the Wisdom of Solomon.
Which one?
Not Sirach. Ecclesiasticus, not Sirach.
No, you want Ecclesiasticus. All right, that was Wisdom of Solomon. So you want
Right.
Sirach 11 and 12. 12 and 11?
Con. Maybe it's my book. I'm looking at it. All right, because what you read to me was, yeah, it was my book.
Yeah,
Slocky, that was my fault.
That was Wisdom of Solomon, yeah. So you want
Right.
Sirach 12?
Con, 12 and 11.
Okay, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Right, because like you said, she said, not all white people are bad. And like the elder was saying, he's not telling you exactly who you are. He's saying we all are the children of God. No, 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 no. No, no, no. He's not to tell you exactly who you are, but he knows who you are, and he knows that the Most High God is going to revenge his children. He knows the Most High God is going to revenge the black race. He knows that. And he wanted his white people, he wanted his Caucasians to watch him out what you say to us. Otherwise, you're going to partake in that same doom. Not telling them that you're going to partake in that same doom anyway because you are the descendants. Your father's not here. That's Lamentation 4 verse 10. That's the Lamentations. It's like in 5 verse 7. He's telling you right there. So again, I'm like, you got to be aware of how these people are speaking. Got to beware. Let's go back to Ezekiel 16, verse 15. I got to speed up a little bit because there's a lot. I got a lot here.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 15. But thou didst trust in thine own beauty, and playedst the harlot because of thy renown, and pouredst out thy fornications on every one that passed by. His it was.
Right. And this is what they do. They outside on the corners giving you this pamphlet of this white goddamn gone, this pale Jesus Christ giving you the pamphlet of him, telling you he saved all sinners. He do this, he do that. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. They go to church dressed in all beautiful hats and shiny suits, looking like P. Diddy from back in the days. Dressed up in their little shiny suits, got their little pointy toe shoes coming out there. I asked a brother out there, I said, brother, what's the I knew what it was. I knew what it was. I was just being sarcastic. And I was just, trying to strike a convo with the brother to see where his mind was at. And there's a young brother, I can say about in his early 20s. And I'm asking him on Easter Sunday, I said, what is the occasion? And like I said, I walk around, I got my crown on, I got my menorahs on. I'm just coming from the gym, got my menorahs on, my crowns on, got my gloves on, and I'm on my scooter, round up there, and I see it, and I'm asking him, but I know what it is. And I'm asking him, what's the day? What is the day? Just to see what he's going to say, just to see if he want to strike a conversation. Just to get to speak to the brother about what's going on. And they rarely want to talk to us. They don't want to, their congregations warn them, do not talk to those Israelites out there. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't go out there talking to them Israelites. They're going to persuade you not to come in here and give me your money. I need your money because daddy need a new pair of gators. Let's continue, King.
Verse 16. And of thy garments thou didst take, and deckedest thy high places with diverse colors, and playedest the harlot thereupon. The like things shall not come, neither shall it be so.
Right, and look what he says here. They decked out their garments. They come on Easter Sunday. They all dressed out in the finest Gucci, whatever. I don't forgot all the goddamn Louis. They dressed out and decked themselves in all this other white man garments, as he would give to you, or sell you for $1,000 for a goddamn suit, whatever it is. You decked out your garments to go and push this lie to our people. And then you got the preachers make sure they pulling up. He might as well have a pink Cadillac, a pink limo Cadillac, because all he is a pimp. And he's pimping the hell out of our people. And he's sitting in the highest place with the craziest colors on. He's sitting there. I remember going to a church before I came into the truth. The church was on Madison between Stuyvesant and Lewis. It's a big church there. And the sister came out and told us, because they already passed the collection plate around. She said the preacher comes all the way from down south and he needs change or gas or something like that. She said he needs. And she passed the plate around again. I'm like, look at this bull crap. I will never forget that. Never. So all he's doing was pimping us out. And now people love to do it so. Let's continue, King.
Verse 17. Thou hast also taken thy fair jewels of my gold and my silver, which I had given thee, and madest to thyself images of men, and didst commit whoredom with them.
Right, because you use these to enslave. You know, the enemy used these images to enslave our people. So now you put in these same images up there all over the churches. And not just the churches, on top of the building. You put them on top of the buildings. You got naked angels on top of the goddamn building. Show me in the scriptures where an angel was naked. Show me that. But this is what they got up there. They got pale-faced, wicked Edomite angels up there. Men pretending to be angels with a sheet right around the cross of his waistline. A sheet around his waistline, pretending to be an angel. And you got our people going in there, bowing down to these places, taking pictures of them, of these statues. Taking pictures of this man that is on a cross, hanging on a cross, taking a picture of it. Bowing down, kissing the feet of this statue. Playing the whore with the doctrine of Esau. Let's read 18.
Verse 18. And tookest thy broidered garments, and coveredest them, and thou hast set mine oil and mine incense before them.
Continue.
My meat also which I gave thee, fine flour and oil and honey, wherewith I fed thee. Thou hast even set it before them for a sweet savor. And thus it was, saith the Lord Yahweh power.
What do he mean by that? What are they doing now? What are they doing now? Eating their Easter dinners or Sunday dinners at the churches, and they make sure they got a goddamn eating mic hanging up above their neck, hanging above their heads. This is exactly what they're talking about right now, what our people are doing in these churches. You got Caesar Borgia hanging on a cross above your head, and you're eating dinner in front of him, asking him to bless your food. Let's continue.
Moreover, thou hast taken thy sons and thy daughters, whom thou hast borne unto me, and these hast thou sacrificed unto them to be devoured. Is this of thy whoredoms a small matter, that thou hast slain my children?
It's like Mighty King, the water. Yeah, because now he's telling you, you're taking your kids and bringing them into the destruction. You're bringing them to be slaughtered in these churches. You're bringing them there to learn of this wicked white man's doctrine. You're bringing them there. You're doing it to your own children. And you don't see no wrong in it. Same thing as our people were doing back in the day, sacrifices their children to Molech and Baal. The same thing what you're doing here right now. The same thing what these Christian churches are doing right now. So when you tell them that, guess what happens? They'll turn their back on you. I was telling a sister, I said, "Yo, sister, you can't be eating the pork. You believe in God, right?" She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, you can't be eating pork right in the meat market. You can't be eating that. She buying pork ribs, spare ribs, and some pork chops. But you can't be eating that. Well, it ain't kill me now." I just look like, what was I to say to that? What was I to say to that? Because I mean, again, no matter how much you tell them not to eat these things, they continue to keep doing it. And they're going to feed it to their kids. They're going to feed them death also. You already signed their death certificate. Let's continue.
Verse 21, that thou hast slain my children and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them. And in all thine... Keep going.
Keep going.
Come, verse 22. And in all thine abominations and thy whoredoms, thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, when thou wast naked and bare, and was polluted in thy blood.
Right, our people forget. Our people forget, but when we go out there to remind them, what they gonna tell you? Oh, that's from them old times. That's from back in the days. We're not doing that now, but you're doing the same thing as you was doing back then. You're doing it now. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. God knows my heart. That's the first thing they hit you in the head with. God knows my heart. Yeah, our people, man. Let's get let's jump down to 20 matter of fact, let's continue. 22 to 27.
God. And it came to pass after all thy wickedness, woe, woe unto thee, saith the Lord Yahweh power, that thou hast also built unto thee an eminent place, and has made thee an high place in every street.
Thou hast Shalakia. Shalakia. Like he said, a high place in every street. What did he mean by that? Everywhere you walk down here, you see a goddamn billboard up there talking about Jesus saves, Jesus this, Jesus that. Who are they talking about? They're not talking about our God. They're not talking about our big brother. They're talking about their God. On every street, at the highest mark, on the highest part of the building. When I'm out there on the road driving the trucks, that's all I see. That's all I see. And I know damn well they're not talking about Yahweh Shah. I know damn well they're not talking about Yahweh. they're talking about Caesar Borgias. At the highest spots. Let's continue, King.
Thou hast built thy high place at every head of the way, and hast made thy beauty to be abhorred, and hast opened thy feet to every one that has passed by, and multiplied thy whoredoms.
Salakia.
Wow.
Right? That goes into Revelation. Right? Because what has America done? America has brought everybody in over here to come and worship their white god, Caesar Borgias. Everybody to come in. Everybody. That's what the whore has done.
That's what you do when you open your feet. You open their feet to everyone.
Right.
You know what that means.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is just, and it makes you angry just to even think about such things as that. Because not just America's doing it, now they got who doing it? They got our people doing it. And they love to do it. And then you merge with these people. What does the pastor do? The pastor be the first one to tell you not to commit fornication, but what he's doing. Let's continue, King. Let's go 26.
Gone. Thou hast also committed fornication with the Egyptians, thy neighbors, great of flesh, and has increased thy whoredoms to provoke me to anger.
Salakia. And what he means by that also. Because our people think that they're Egyptians. They come out with this Egyptian doctrine. Oh, I'm Himotep, whatever the heck their names was. I'm this, I'm that. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're committing fornication with their God and their doctrine. As I've seen a lot, I've been hearing a lot as growing in this truth and been learning. We all know exactly what the obsolete means. What is the obsolete? We know what that is. And then they say it's pointed right at the mouth of their God Ra. Like, oh my God, this is just this disgusting and wickedness. But this is what our people are doing. So that also means you're allowing in homosexuality. Because that's exactly what you're doing. Let's continue.
Behold, therefore I have stretched out my hand over thee, and have diminished thine ordinary food, and delivered thee unto the will of them that hate thee, the daughters of the Philistines, which are ashamed of thy lewd way.
Right. Right. He's telling you again, he's delivered you into these people. These people don't like you. He's telling you they don't like you. And you see that every day when you go in their shop, they in there, talking mad garbage about you in their native tongue. You going into their shop, buy their goddamn weave and all that. This is what our women is doing. Same thing goes for Moab. You go into their shop, buying things from them. What are they doing? They talking about you to their people in their native tongue. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. And then he warns you again, and they even warned you that what they do when you buy this weave, they prey on it. They prey on it constantly. So your hair continue to be bald, and you continue to buy money from these wicked people. And a lot of them are Hindus who are selling these things. And what they do when they sell these things to you? What do they do when they sell these things to you? Again, they prey on it, they put spells on it. Witchcraft. Witchcraft. I know a lot of you seen out there on Instagram and on Facebook, what do they do with their food and their noodles when they make it? They chew on it and spit it back into the goddamn pot. They take a lot of those noodles and put it under their goddamn underarm and put it back in the pot and then sell it to you. Sell it to you. Because they know you're the ones who's eating these things. Come on, man. Our people, man. God dang. Let's continue. The Most High got a lot over here in Ezekiel.
Done. Thou hast played the whore also with the Assyrians, because thou was unsatiable. Yeah, thou hast played the harlot with them, and yet couldst not be satisfied.
Come. So you needed more. You wanted more. Same thing as these preachers. Same as the preacher who locked the door on you. He wanted more. He had a little bit of money, but now he want more. Because again, you become greedy, filthy pigs. Greedy, filthy swine. You're wicked. You're moving just like your slave master. Moving just like him. Let's continue.
Verse 29. Thou hast moreover multiplied thy fornication in the land of Canaan unto Chaldea, and yet thou wast not satisfied herewith.
Right, God. They're not satisfied with that. See, the same thing. Same thing as with Esau, when he goes to land to still rape, rob, and murder. He's not satisfied yet. You found something new, or you made a new invention. Ooh, I want that. Wow, they gotta find a way to take you out and then sell it themselves. Same thing that goes when that, who was it, the young man or the young lady who made the Jack Daniels liquor? What did they do? All that time, for 70-something years, who was profiting off of that? They weren't, but Esau was. He's taking it from them all that time. Like a thief. The thief that he is. Let's continue.
Verse 30. How weak is thine heart, saith the Lord Yahweh power, seeing thou doest all these things, the work of an imperious, whorish woman.
Continue, King.
In that thou buildest thine eminent place in the head of every way, and makest thine high place in every street, and has not been as an harlot, in that thou scornest hire.
Continue.
But as a wife that committeth adultery, which taketh strangers instead of her husband.
Now, who did that sound like? Who did that sound like? That's Esau right there. And not just Esau. Again, that's our people, our women. They're doing that right now. Same thing with their men. They're doing that right now. You go into the corner stores, you got these our women in there, they make deals with the daggone Arab in order to get some food. You got that going on right now. One of my daughters have a friend who was dealing with an Arab, and she got pregnant by him. She's a Puerto Rican, Ephraim. She got pregnant by him, and he told her, "You better not keep the baby. I'm not taking care of it." And he left and went to his country. She was stuck here looking like a fool. Stuck looking like a fool. Right. But that's what our women do. Let's continue, King.
They give gifts to all whores, but thou givest thy gifts to all thy lovers. and hirest them, that they may come unto thee on every side for thy whoredom.
Right. That's what America does. He tells them, if you come over here and you build your places out here in the black neighborhoods, we will give you the land over there. We will give you the buildings over there. We will give you all these things over there, whatever you need, the loans, everything. We're going to give you all of that for you to prosper in the black neighborhoods so that they won't get nothing. We're going to give you all of that. And that's what they've been doing. Let's continue.
Verse 34, and the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredoms, whereas none followeth thee to commit whoredoms. And in that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee. Therefore thou art contrary.
Right. Because you're giving them your money and whatever you got to give to them to get favors from them, and you ain't getting nothing. You're not getting nothing. Nothing at all. Same thing when that guy, they go Arab, stabbed it and knocked you up. You ain't getting nothing. He told you to kill a baby. Kill it, and he's leaving. You ain't getting nothing. Because you wanted to play the whore with this dude and know that his family had a little stores out here and then they had a little bit of money. You thought you were going to get some of that, huh? Fooled your behind. Let's continue, King.
Right. And the contrary is in thee from other women in thy whoredoms, whereas none followeth thee to commit whoredoms, and in that thou givest a reward, and no reward is given unto thee, therefore thou art contrary. Wherefore, O harlot, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, because thy filthiness was poured out, and thy nakedness discovered through thy whoredoms with thy lovers, and with all the idols of thy abominations, and by the blood of thy children, which thou didst give unto them.
Right, Slakia. Because now, again, like I told you, you done showed your nakedness, gave him your nakedness through your whoredom, with your lover, and with all your idols, because now she should tell me that she was a Christian. You're a Christian, but you don't know no goddamn scriptures. I'm telling you the scriptures. You telling me you believe in the scriptures, but the scriptures I'm giving you, you don't believe in it. You never heard of these scriptures. And I'm showing and proving you what these scriptures are saying, but you still don't understand it because you don't want to understand it. You want to be a whore. You want to be a whore. You want to go over there and lay down with the other nations. You want to do all those things. And now your child, you just gave away again unto Molech. Because he told you he didn't want that child from you. Even though the child was going to be a heathen anyway. He was going to be a heathen anyway. But still, again, you allow them to do these things to you. I mean, things like that, it really makes me angry. But then again, what can we do? What can we do? All we could do is tell them and hope for the best. This is why you got a lot of brothers out there right now. They're singing, and he's putting up there on Facebook a mighty brother he got from the tribe of Levi. He said he'd rather deal with a Northern Kingdom sister than dealing with any of the black women. Any of them. He'd rather deal with that than deal with them. Because Eve is loudmouth and obnoxious. She is one of the wickedest women on this earth with her goddamn mouth. And don't care who she open her legs up to or show her nakedness to. She don't care. She despises her own goddamn men that she raised. And she thinks that the other nations are better than her men. And you give yourself to them. You give yourself to them. And they treat you like garbage. Treat you like garbage. You get pregnant by them, they tell you to kill a baby, and they leaving you right there. You still ain't getting nothing. You got on Facebook, you see a lot of our beautiful black women. What are they doing? Dealing with these old, dusty, crusty Edomites. Talking about black love. What the hell does that have to do with black love? That's you going out there being a whore with the other nation. That's what you're doing. That's not black love. That's whorish love. That's whorish love. And the Most High is going to judge you for that. Because as you can see already, things are happening on the trains, out there in the streets. That war is coming. And where you going to be at? Where you going to be at? Nobody's going to be there to save you when you're surrounded by all those Edomites. Let's continue, King. Two more.
Verse 37. Behold, therefore I will gather all thy lovers, with whom thou hast taken pleasure, and all them that thou hast loved, with all them that thou hast hated. I will even gather them round about against thee, and will discover thy nakedness unto them, that they may see all thy nakedness.
Right, Slakia. This also goes into, again, right? You dealing with Esau, and you dealing with the other nations, and all the other nations, they can't stand Esau. But you the main one dealing with your lovers. You the one dealing with your murderers. And I bet you every last one of them sisters that was dealing with these wicked men out there, you ask them, where are they? Or what faith are they from? They'll tell you they're a Christian. Every last one of them will probably tell you they were born again Christian. Because when you're in Christianity, you can commit whoredoms. You can commit destruction, wickedness. And once you call on the name of their white Christ, you're supposed to be saved. This is what they tell you. But now the Most High is telling that your nakedness is going to be discovered. Your wickedness is being discovered. We're exposing it right now, how wicked you are. And not just you, your slave master. Because what is he doing? He's committing fornication with these other nations. He brought them in here to come eat off of you, to uncover your dress. Yeah, you could go right on ahead. Go over there in the neighborhood. You can eat off of them, uncover their dress. You can see their nakedness. You can even have sex with their women. Don't worry about it. It'll be fun. You have a blast. You have a ball over here. As long as you do it over there in their neighborhoods. As long as you do it in their neighborhoods. And that's exactly what's happening. Let's continue. One more.
Verse 38. And I will judge thee as women that break wedlock and shed blood are judged. And I will give thee blood in fury and jealousy.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So all you women that break wedlock, what's the penalty for breaking wedlock? That's death. That's death. So the Most High is going to give you death for you dealing with these other nations. He's going to give you that. And what's the best way to hurt a so-called woman is when they have a seed and they put their seed into slavery, or you kill their seed. Death to their seed. I know it might sound cruel, but again, our God, man, he's a just and he's a terrible God. He's a righteous, just, and terrible God. He warned you about opening your legs to these wicked people. So since you want to open your legs to these wicked people, prepare to die. Prepare for it. And if he don't get you, oh, better believe, he's going to get your children. He has patience. See, it's the same thing as it goes into the hood. When you got beef with somebody who's running their mouth, you don't want to run up. See, I used to run back into it. 5 minutes, I'm coming right back. I used to do that until the OG told me, yo, chill. Let it die down, and then get it when they least suspect it. And that's what the Most High is doing. Let you run rampant. You go out there, you can deal with all the nations you want out there. And he hit you behind when you least expect it. Same thing is going to happen with this guy, with America right here. When they least expect it, these other nations are going to turn on them. But they know these other nations are going to turn on them. But it's not when they think it's going to happen. So far, you already got one that turned against you. Who was that? That was Turkey. You got plenty more dragons of Arabia that's going to turn against you. Plenty more. Plenty more. And like I said, the white man knows this, but he's trying to get and squeeze out every little bit of juice he can get before these things happen. Before they happen, he's trying to get as much as he can get. Continue to rape, rob, murder, squeeze out the last drop of the orange juice. I want the very last of that peel. Give me all of that before all hell breaks loose. Before you get angry, before the Most High put that on Esau, it's like before the Most High put that on Ishmael to go out there and just let it all hang out. Let's get Ezekiel 20, verse 8.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, verse 8. But they rebelled against me and would not hearken unto me. They did not every man cast away the abominations of their eyes, neither did they forsake the idols of Egypt. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them to accomplish my anger against them in the midst of the land of Egypt.
Right, because our people don't want to stop fornicating with these other nations. They invite everyone or these other nations into their homes, but yet when it comes down to you, they weary of you. They weary of you and let the white man all into our neighborhoods, the same ones that their ancestors was killing you and selling you as slaves. You let them all in your neighborhoods. The first thing they say, I didn't do it. My ancestors didn't do it. You're a liar. You're a liar. You and these Jewish people, if we just shown you, you're a liar. They allow them into the churches because why? Because they want the money that they have. They want the money that they have. And they are also taught not to read from the Old Testament, because if you read from there, it tells you again in Psalm 55, verse 21, it tells you about these people. And not just in Psalm, who do you think taken out the Apocrypha? Who took that out? The Council of Nicaea. Who was doing that? Who was there during the council? Why are all these people taking out books that don't belong to them? And when you ask a stupid, hard-headed Christian these questions, they're going to tell you otherwise. They're going to tell you otherwise. God never gave them authority to take anything out of his book. Never. But when you ask them that, they give you a song and dance. They're nothing but a bunch of Uncle Ruckuses. And the Most High about to pour out his anger against them. Let's get, oh man, it's 11:38. Man, I talk too much. Let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 42. Slakia, let's jump down to 23. Ezekiel 20, verse 23.
Ezekiel 20?
Verse 23.
Got you. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, verse 23. I lifted up mine hand unto them also in the wilderness, that I would scatter them among the heathen and disperse them through the countries.
Right. So this is another strike, and I'm glad I put this up here because this is another strike that goes against them when he says, all men shall be saved. Again, the salvation is only for Israel. And he tells you that in Isaiah chapter 60. He tells you that. For the Most High said he would scatter us into all the heathen, through all the countries. So why did he say all the heathens come out of America? No, he said my people. That's a possessive noun. My people. Come out of her, my people. Right? Let's get 2 Esdras 2 verse 42.
It's the book of 2 Esdras, chapter 2, verse 42. I, Esdras, saw upon the Mount Sion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs.
Right. A great multitude of our people who are going to praise him with the songs. Let's get 2 Esdras chapter 2, 1 verse 28. Let's get that real quick.
Chapter 2, verse 1.
Verse 1.
2 Esdras 2 and 1.
Come.
2 Esdras chapter 2, verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments, my men servants, the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despised my counsels.
Come. He's sending us out there to you so you can hear and listen, but you're despising it because you don't want the righteousness of the Most High. You want the righteousness of your murderers, the righteousness of the wickedest people on this earth. That's what you want. You don't want the righteousness when we out there. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear us talking with power, strength, and conviction. You don't want that. You want us to talk to you all soft and watery, oily waters, all this sweet blah, blah, blah in your ears. We're not here for that. We're not here to do that for our people. We're here to tell you, thus saith the Lord. That's what a prophet does. Thus saith the Lord. Not thus saith the white man. Thus saith the Lord. Preach everything in and out of this Bible. The righteousness, the wickedness, the pain, the glory, everything. We're preaching everything. Everything that you've done in here. Everything he tells us to speak to you about, we're preaching that. Everything. Thus saith the Lord. Let's drop down to 28. Let's start at 27.
Verse 27. Be not weary, for when the day of trouble and heaviness cometh, others shall weep and be sorrowful, but thou shalt be merry and have abundance.
Gone. Let's go up to 26. I should have you start there first.
Chapter 20, verse 26. As for the servants whom I have given thee, there shall not one of them perish, for I will require them from among thy number.
Right. This is why we have no fear. We're not going nowhere. We're not going nowhere. And there's a lot of people out there, of our people that want to hear us out there speaking. They don't want to hear the church's nonsense. They want to hear what we have to say because we're bringing out, thus saith the Lord. The churches are not doing that. We're bringing out, thus saith the Lord, and these people don't want to hear that. But it's a small remnant of our people that do, and they're happy that we're out there. Let's go to 29.
Verse 29. My hands shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see hell.
Right, we're not going to see it. We're not going to see it, and we know hell is a condition. He's going to cover us. So what did he mean by we're not going to see hell? We're not going to see the pain, the torture that you're about to deliver, that you're about to go through. We're not going to see that. We're being tried right now. When the slacking for the language. When the sugar honey iced tea hit the fan, he's going to have his hand to cover us. But you're going to have to deal with that. You and your white Jesus, you're going to have to deal with that. You got a lot of things you got to answer for. Let's read 31.
Verse 31. Remember thy children that sleep, for I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth and show mercy unto them. For I am merciful, saith the Lord Almighty.
God, same thing as he did with his son, he's going to raise up our people back again. Raise up his mighty men. This is what they mean by we're back on this earth. The same men that was then back then, we're back on this earth right now. We're back on this earth right now. We was raised from the sides of the earth. We was raised out of there. Because remember, when you die, your soul goes back to God. It doesn't just stay there. It goes back to God, and he decides what he want to do with it. This is why he told Ezekiel and Elisha, you will have to go back and preach again. Same thing he told Edges, you will go back on the earth and preach again. Didn't Christ said about John, this is Elisha if you will have it? Didn't he tell him that? So he's showing you again through the scriptures that he did not just sit there and his soul just waited there in limbo, stuck there. He died. No, he brought him back to life again, sent him in another body. Continue to go out there and do my work. What time is it? 11:46. All right. Oh man, I wanted to get so much. I had so many, but I'm not even gonna go that far. Let's get Ezekiel 20, verse 31.
Now, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, verse 31. For when we offer your gifts, when ye make your sons to pass through the fire, ye pollute yourselves with all your idols, even unto this day. And I shall be inquired of by you, O house of Israel. As I live, saith the Lord Yahweh power, I will not be inquired of by you.
Right. Right. Like he said, even unto this day, you make your sons and daughters go under the rod of fire. You make them go unto Molech. You make them go and worship white Jesus Christ, Baal. You make them go and do these things. So he'll not be inquired of you, so-called Christians. Continue.
And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that ye say, we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to serve wood and stone.
Look at that. Look at that. You're going to be as the heathens of the families on this earth to serve wood and stone. Now let's go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 33, because he just told you that again, Israel will be the heathen. So when the Christians, so when the apostles went out there and started preaching, when Paul went out there to start preaching, and he says, I'm going to the Gentiles. Who are the Gentiles he's going to? He's going to our people. This is what happened when they don't read, because again, they don't have the spirit of the Most High, and they're not keeping his statutes, laws, and commandments to give you knowledge and understanding, which comes with the Comforter. They don't have that. Let's get that 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 33.
It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 2, verse 33. I, Esdras, received a charge of the Lord upon the Mount Oreb, that I should go unto Israel. But when I came unto them, they set me at naught and despised the commandment of the Lord.
Right. They despise the commandment of the Lord. Same thing as to do with these churches out there. They despise the commandments of the Lord. This same thing is happening all over again. It's a ring that's going around in a circle. They despise the commandments of the Most High God. And we keep telling them to keep the faith of Yahweh Shah, the spirit of prophecy, and do the commandments of God. Which you hypocrite churches keep telling them that it's dead, but yet when you come into their church and to their sanctuary, you tell them, repent of your sins. Let's continue, King.
Verse 34. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. He shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand, that shall come in the end of the world.
Right. So we just read in Ezekiel 20, verse 31, that he's talking about Israel, who was a heathen. And right now he's telling you again who the heathen he's going to speak to look for the shepherd. Let's read 35 real quick.
Be ready to the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore.
Ezekiel 22, verse 25.
Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 25. There is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof.
Right, because that's exactly what they do. That's what they're doing right now, right? Their prophets are nothing but a bunch of liars. And they're feeding off of the strength and the energy of our people. All the unsuspected sheep that's following them are being led to the slaughter. Let's continue.
Her priests have violated my law and have profaned mine holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and profane. Neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profaned among them.
Right. So now he's telling you again, they violate the law. How do you violate the law? By telling them, don't worry about the law. Do whatever the hell you want to do. The Lord said, don't cut the beard off. Hell, cut it all off. The Lord said, don't make baldness in your hair. Cut it all off. Look like a damn chocolate milk dog going down the street. Cut it all off. Have the baby butt chin. Go out there. Go and eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. You can eat all these things. This is what the church is telling you. And God is telling you that they violated his laws. They're violating it. Your priests are violating his laws. And he's telling you, you're putting no difference between the unclean and the clean. No difference. You're saying you're going to tell everybody all food is good as long as you bless it in the name of God. All food is good. Everything is good. This is what you're telling them. All right, let me get one more. Let's get Acts 3, verse 4.
Gone.
It's like it, 3, verse 14.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 3, verse 14. But ye denied the Holy One and the just, and desired a murderer to be granted unto you.
Look at that. Look at that. They desire a murderer unto them. They don't want the Holy One. They don't want the real truth. They don't want the only begotten Son. They don't want Yahweh Shah. They don't want him to reign over them. They want a murderer. And that's what they have reigning above their heads, these churches. A murderer.
Caesar Borgia. Caesar Borgia.
God, King.
Caesar Borgia is a murderer.
Exactly. And when you read about the history of his family and his people, and the people that painted him, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, these that painted him and appointed him to be the image of their foundation, the image of their doctrine, their lives. When he did this, he was hyped up. He was hyped up. There's a book on this. There's a book on this showing you that they use him to be the image of their doctrination. They showing you that. So I'm like, yo, man. What is number 54? Okay. Let me get one last one, and then we're gonna close it out. I'm skipping through a whole lot. Let's get Romans 11, verse 1.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, have God cast away his people? God forbid. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
God, he has not cast us away, as we read earlier in Ezekiel, and as we read in 2nd Ezra, he's coming to save us. And when everybody is going through this pain, this torture, and all this murderous, going through this turmoil, he's going to put his hand to cover us. We're going to be good. I don't know about you Christians. We're going to be good. We're going through the trials and fire and the pain right now. But you continue to talk about we're twisting the scriptures. The Israelites are lying. You keep doing that. You keep pushing the white man's doctrine. All hell is going to follow you. You got a lot to answer for. With that, I give all praise to the Most High God Yahweh by way of His magnificent Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. And in the Paleo Hebrew tongue, I like to say, Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.
God.
Kwam Yasharallah.
For your God Yahweh.
God. All praises.
God, all praises, man. Salakia, brothers and sisters, I was going on a lot. Like I said, I had a lot to speak on, and I wanted to speak on, but we didn't have enough time. I was trying to put things together, get it on Clubhouse. I guess I didn't get that done right. But I'm glad we're here. We're hearing this word. And as you see, you learned more here than you learned at the goddamn church. We done went through 30 precepts, and I had about 20 more to go through. 20 more to go through. So don't forget also, I got to give shout out to the Most High God, Yahweh, by way of magnificent Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah, for having the brothers in IUIC come out with these books and show us, right? This I got one of these books off of their classes. I'm thankful that he's using them to do such things, because again, we at HOI, we're not a house of hate. We don't hate our brothers. We don't do none of that. Y'all want to hate each other? Y'all go to hell right on. Y'all do that. We don't rock like that. We don't rock like that. We hate to see the things that happen to our brothers. We hate to see the judgment they get. But again, it's all by the will of the Most High. What can we do? Just pray on it and hope everybody can repent and come together. It's time to gather ourselves together, not to separate, not to laugh at one another, not to fight one another, but to bring each other together under one banner, one God, one Savior. All praises.
All praises.
Any brothers, sisters out there got anything to ask? Any questions? If not, I'd like to close out with a prayer. Oh man, what a night and what a time we're going through. So again, we'll close out with the prayer. Now all the brothers and sisters turn towards Jerusalem. Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Padash, Haya, Shimka, Yahweh, Malapaka, Taba'a, Barazaka, Haya, Isha, Bashamayim, Netenawa, Lachom, Kayawom, Wasalachnawa, Tabawachnawa, Kasalachnawa, Wala, Nayabanawa, Bonesanayawan, Abal, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Rai, Laka, Kaya, Hamalachwa, Wahala, Wahata Pavaf, Layam, Amen. Almighty God, by way of my magnificent Son, I ask and I pray that you give me the strength and give all the brothers out there that are doing your will. You give us the strength to go out there in the face of adversity and the face of our enemies and tell them they are the devil that the Bible speaks of, and tell them of your knowledge, tell them of your truth, tell them of your Son, and reveal to them the prophecies and the terror that you're about to bring on this earth. I pray that my people will wake up. And I pray that we're touching the ones that you want us to bring forth, and you want us to speak these words to. I pray that they come in a speedy manner, and I pray that they be safe and they be covered by your power and by the hand of your magnificent power. By way of your Son, Mashiach Yahweh Shah, Dwara, Amen. Shema Yasharallah. Yahweh, Allah, Hayinawa, Yahweh, Aha, Shema, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Allah, Hayinawa, Yahweh, Aha, Shema, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Allah Hainawa, Yahweh, Aha. Ah, well,
God.
God, all praises. The Lord willing, He give me the strength to do another one. Well, and I heard, everybody was edified, and I hope again that they learn that these people love these murderers, and that the Most High God doesn't love sinners. Why do you love sinners? I don't understand that. But again, go out and get these books, learn before they take these books down, or they put them at a price where you can't reach it. They have plenty more books than these. Lord willing, He'll reveal them to us, and we can use that for His ministry. All praise to the Most High, mighty God, the God Yahweh of Israel, the only God, the true God, the greatest God. All praises. Shalom.
Shalom, Mark.
Shalom, mighty
everybody.
King.
Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Shalom, Yashalom.
Kwam Yashalom. Oh.
What a time for my computer to crash. This is crazy. Devil is a liar.